How to make a mushroom. I'm going in with my disappearing ink pen and outlining my template onto a brown felt. This will be the cap of the mushroom. From there, you're going to cut it out and get matching thread and connect these slits together. So you're going to push your needle through both pieces of felt, and then from there, you're going to take your needle and push it through just the front piece and come up between the two pieces. This will be the start of your blanket stitch. From there, you will move your needle over just a little bit, and you're going to push your needle back through both pieces of felt again, but this time before pulling all the way through, you're going to run your needle through that hoop and then pull tight. You will do this blanket stitch along that whole edge. Once you get to the bottom of that edge, you will want to secure all the stitches that you just made. So you will run your needle through your hoop not once, but twice, and then pull tight, which will create a knot in your thread. And then I run my needle back through my felt and then cut off the extra. From there, you'll do the same exact thing to the remaining 3 slits. And then you're gonna, once you're done, you're gonna flip it inside out, and now it's time to add detail. So here I'm going in with a French knot. You will wrap your string around your needle not once, but twice, and then go ahead and push your needle back through the hole that you just came up with. Before you push it all the way through though, make sure you pull tight on that thread, and then I pinch it with my thumb just to make sure that it doesn't move as I'm pulling the thread through. I'm going to do French knots throughout the whole top of the mushroom just to give it some texture. But once I'm done, I'm going to secure those stitches by getting a little bit of felt with my needle and then running it through that hoop not once but twice and cutting off the extra. From there, it's time to move on to the stem of the mushroom. So I'm taking my template and I'm outlining it onto a cream felt, and then from there I'm going to cut it out. You will then take the circle piece and match up the edges to the cap of the mushroom. You will start your blanket stitch here. So you're going to take your needle and push it through the top piece of the mushroom, and then you come up and over and just put your needle through the base of the mushroom and up between the 2 pieces. This will be, again, the start of your blanket stitch. Move your needle over just a little bit and then run your needle through that hoop and then pull tight. You will do this stitch along that whole edge of the mushroom. Once you get closer to your first initial stitch, you'll have a little bit hole left over. This is when you're going to want to stuff it with polyfill. Just go ahead and stuff it as much as you want until you get a nice, good, firmness. And then you'll move on with closing up that hole, which is just continuing that blanket stitch. Now, I usually go maybe 3 or 4 stitches past my initial stitch just to secure the stitches that I started with. But once you are done with closing up that hole, you will want to secure everything. So you'll run your needle through that hoop, not once, but twice, and then pull tight and cut off the extra. And there you go, you have the cap of your mushroom. Now it's time to move on to the stem. So you're going to take it and fold it in half like a taco, and then you're going to pin it together so it doesn't move because it's a small piece. And you're going to blanket stitch along that whole edge. So take your needle and push it through one side of the felt, and then you're going to come up and over that edge, push it through the top piece of the felt and come up between the two pieces and then pull tight. From there you'll move your needle over just a little bit, and before pushing it all the way through, you will run your needle through that hoop and then pull tight. You will do that blanket stitch along that whole edge of the stem. Once you get to the end of the stem, you will want to secure all those stitches. So you will run your needle through that hoop, not once, but twice, and then pull tight. And then don't cut off the extra because you're going to need it for the next step. So then you're going to take the strip, and I have these shears that I cut along the edge just to give it some texture. If you don't have these shears, don't worry about it, just leave it how it is. But you're going to take that string that you kept connected, you're going to come up and over that edge, and then you're going to push it through both pieces of felt, and you're going to blanket stitch this strip to the top of your stem. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is when you are pushing your needle through, make sure you're not closing up that hole. You're only wanting to attach the strip to the side that it's on. So you're just going to keep going around in a circle until you get to your initial stitch. And then of course you're going to have a little bit extra. So I just go in and cut it off so that it lines up. And then I'm going to continue my blanket stitch and also once I have the top blanket stitch, I'm going to come back down and blanket stitch those two pieces together so that they're not like flapping. Honestly, when it comes to these stitches, they don't have to be pretty. This is going to be up inside the mushroom, so no one's going to see this. So just make sure that everything is tacked down. Once I get to the bottom, I'm going to secure everything. So run your needle through that hoop, not once, but twice, and then pull tight, and then run your needle through the stem, and then cut off the extra. Now it's time to add some pipe cleaner. So I'm going to add pipe cleaner into the stem, and then I measure it into the cap just to make sure that it's the right length. And then I go ahead and cut off the extra. From there, I'm going to go in and start stuffing it with polyfill. I just kind of stuff around that whole pipe cleaner, just making sure that it's nice and firm and tight before adding the base of the stem. So you're going to then, once it's stuffed to your liking, you're going to take the base of the stem and you're going to blanket stitch that along the edge. So just take your needle, push it through one edge of the felt, take it to the other side, and then pull tight, and then move over, do both pieces this time, and then run your needle through the hoop. And you're going to do that along the whole circle until you get back to your initial stitch. And then, of course, you're going to secure all of that by running your needle through that hoop, not once, but twice, and then pulling tight. I then will run my needle back through the stem and cut off the extra. I will then go in with my glue gun and I glue along the pipe cleaner and then stick it directly into the mushroom cap. And there you go, you have your mushroom. This template can be found in my Etsy shop, which is linked in my bio. I hope you liked it and I hope it was helpful.